Hey, what's up, everyone? You are watching or listening to the My Comic Book Journey podcast. I'm your host, KNDY. And today we are going back to 1994 for Rune Volume 1, Issue 1, courtesy of Malibu Comics' imprint, Ultraverse. It was written by Barry Windsor-Smith and Chris Ulm, drawn by Barry Windsor-Smith, inker Alex Bialy and John Floyd, letterer Patrick Owsley and Gail Beckett, colored by Keith Conroy and Barry Windsor-Smith, computer colored by Jennifer Schellinger, and Rune was created by Barry Windsor-Smith and Chris Ulm. So here we go. For the Ultraverse, Malibu Comics went promotion heavy with the announcement that Barry Windsor-Smith had created a character, a monstrous villain known as Rune. This was significant back in the early 90s because Barry Windsor-Smith was known for being one of the main people behind the surge of Valiant Comics' popularity during the early 90s, until the company started to implement work-for-hire practices which he had a true disdain for when he worked at Marvel Comics. Best known for his work on the Conan the Barbarian series when he was with Marvel back then. While Barry Windsor-Smith no doubt captivated the attention of many for word that he would be creating a character and working on an Ultraverse comic book, no one couldn't help how this would all work out. In the end, it really didn't work out, as Marvel would take over Ultraverse several months later, unfortunately. For those not familiar with Rune, the character is an alien who acquired Star Jones, which made him immortal. But the alien was cursed in a monstrous form that made him feed on the blood of humans. He was stranded on Earth and worshipped either as a god or demon, but now he is after various teenagers. I'll show you a little image right here. You can see it right here. Him trying to suck blood from his victims. Anyway, the first issue begins with a young guy named Eric Johnson having a nightmare of a demon, a nightmare that he has had that has been consistent for a while. Immediately, Rune crashes into his bedroom. Rune tells the young man that he must kill him so he can live. As his parents hear him screaming, as they come in, Rune begins feeding on Eric's father, and as Eric tries to help his father and fight with Rune, immediately a power comes out of Eric and sends Rune flying out of the house. Meanwhile, Eric and his mother are devastated by what had transpired. Meanwhile, Rune is trapped in telephone lines and is out of it. Rune is then taken by a government agency, and General Ryder has his scientists working on Rune, while General Ryder wonders why Rune was after Eric Johnson. Meanwhile, as Ryder works on assimilating Rune, or Raider, I'm sorry, General Ryder or Ryder, not sure. Meanwhile, as Raider works on assimilating Rune, another teenager in New York is visited by a group of men, and this young man is named Noel Robinson, who looks exactly like Eric Johnson, including his parents and Eric's parents. But when the government informs General Raider that they picked up the boy, he is shocked because he gave no such order, and then the experiment on Rune goes haywire. If anything, the first issue of Rune shows promise of a dark series within the Ultraverse, but at the same time, how people would like the series because it was more about a demon-like villain, which wasn't so appealing. And if anyone did jump in on issue 1, it's probably for the fact that Barry Windsor-Smith, who left Valiant, was now at Ultraverse, and that would mean Malibu were on to bigger and better things. But again, Marvel acquired Ultraverse not long after. Barry Windsor-Smith saw the writing on the wall and left the company after legal ownership issues, and with several unpublished issues of Rune, and Marvel having Rune versus Silver Surfer issue. Yep, they did a Rune versus Silver Surfer issue. He pretty much, I think I pretty much gave up on the series. I think I've said it before. Malibu Comics, when they started Ultraverse, I absolutely love Ultraverse because it was more about wonderful writing as opposed to wonderful art. There was good art, but the writing was top notch, and that's why I loved Ultraverse. But when when Malibu, or when Marvel, I'm sorry, Marvel Comics purchased Ultraverse and Malibu, you knew that things were not going to be the same, and needless to say, Marvel pretty much took Ultraverse down. And it was a political thing, because they were trying to prevent DC from acquiring Marvel and Ultraverse. So, what better way to counter your rival by purchasing the company that you find out that they may have been interested in? Nevertheless, I kind of feel for Barry Windsor-Smith, because he was onto something, really onto something special. Little dark, but special for the Ultraverse. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and kind of wonder where would Barry Windsor-Smith would have taken Rune. Would he have been a violent? I mean, not violent, but would he have been a criminal or a villain, or would he have been transformed to something else? And why was he after these kids? Anyway, I saw Barry Windsor-Smith and Chris Ohm's Rune as a series with possibilities, but unfortunately, due to Marvel Comics purchasing Ultraverse, unfortunately, it came down to wasted potential. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. And this is Rune, issue number 1. Wink, wink, Anna. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.